Queen Mary and King Frederik of Denmark have once again set the royal world ablaze with intrigue and fascination as fresh reports confirm that the beloved monarchs are preparing to relocate after concluding what many have described as their most extended and soul-enriching vacations yet. The glamorous couple, who recently took time away from the official spotlight to recharge with their children and close confidants, are now orchestrating a move that promises to redefine not only their private family life but potentially also the future rhythm of the Danish monarchy itself. Viewers across the globe are utterly captivated by how these two towering figures of modern European royalty continually balance the weight of centuries-old traditions with their uniquely contemporary, heartfelt approach to family and duty. From the first moments their travel plans quietly emerged through well-placed palace insiders, speculation has swirled around every luxurious detail. Queen Mary, whose effortless elegance and keen sense of royal diplomacy have long made her a favorite of both the Danish people and international admirers, was reportedly eager to carve out this recent lengthy retreat as a time to strengthen the bonds with her 4 children, Crown Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, Prince Vincent, and Princess Josephine. Meanwhile, King Frederik, who has increasingly been stepping into the role of a deeply thoughtful monarch since ascending the throne in January, viewed this period as both a mental reset and an opportunity to connect on an intimate level with his family before plunging into the rigorous months of statecraft ahead. Sources close to the palace have whispered that the Danish royals chose idyllic, almost storybook-like settings for this private chapter, destinations that allowed them to slip off their official mantles and embrace the simpler, tender joys of being a family. Locals in select European coastal enclaves reported glimpses of the royals enjoying seaside strolls, laughing over casual picnics, and even cycling through quiet, sun-dappled lanes with minimal security presence. Queen Mary, often spotted in breezy linen dresses and wide-brimmed hats that framed her radiant smiles, seemed to revel in these rare slices of near anonymity. King Frederik was frequently seen close by, sometimes playfully racing his children on bicycles, at other times standing back to simply watch the scene with a look of pure, unguarded adoration. Yet even amidst these scenes of gentle family delight, the undertow of royal responsibility was never far behind. Advisors discreetly flew in and out, documents traveled in secure diplomatic pouches, and trusted aides ensured that while the royals' bodies were on vacation, the heartbeat of the monarchy kept its steady, measured pace. One courtier, speaking under strict anonymity, described how King Frederik maintained daily briefings with his private secretary to stay abreast of pressing state matters, from domestic legislative nuances to intricate issues of Nordic defense collaborations. Queen Mary, for her part, remained closely engaged with several of her patronages, reportedly taking evening calls with directors of charitable organizations to approve upcoming initiatives that bear her personal seal. Now, as the family readies to return to a more formal phase of their royal journey by relocating, with reports indicating a likely recentering around Copenhagen's Amalienborg Palace complex after extended stays in royal summer residences, the anticipation is electric. Courtiers are said to be quietly orchestrating the move, coordinating not just logistics like security and staff schedules, but also subtly preparing the royal calendar for a visible uptick in public engagements. This next chapter could see Queen Mary and King Frederik intensify their hands-on approach to royal appearances, continuing to cement their reign as one defined by sincerity, modern accessibility, and a willingness to be seen as emotionally authentic human beings, not merely distant figureheads. Many watchers believe the choice to undertake this significant relocation at this moment is layered with meaning. For one, the move underscores how Queen Mary and King Frederik intend to keep their young family closely tied to the heart of Denmark's civic life. Despite temptations to stay cocooned in the tranquil privacy of summer estates longer, insiders say the royal couple feels a profound duty to return to Copenhagen and allow their children, especially Crown Prince Christian, who is steadily approaching full-time royal adulthood, to grow up amidst the living heartbeat of the nation's capital. It's a deliberate shaping of destiny, ensuring that the future king experiences firsthand the rhythms of city life, the subtle expectations of the people he will one day lead, and the day-to-day pulse of Denmark's democratic institutions. What makes this all the more riveting is the undercurrent of tender family strategy woven through every decision. Queen Mary has often spoken, sometimes indirectly through carefully crafted speeches, sometimes more candidly in interviews, about how she wishes her children to have as normal a life as possible, even under the sapphire glare of global royal attention. This move back to Copenhagen appears to be guided by that exact philosophy. It will place the children in familiar schools, closer to longtime friends, surrounded by the cultural touchstones that have helped shape their identity not just as young royals, but as young Danes. For Queen Mary and King Frederik, it is an exquisite balancing act between shielding their heirs from undue scrutiny and immersing them in the very environment that will one day expect their leadership. Simultaneously, there is also an unmistakable whisper of quiet romance that colors this chapter of relocation. Friends close to the couple reveal that after 2 decades of marriage, marked by both dazzling state banquets and private storms weathered with remarkable unity, Queen Mary and King Frederik still seek moments to nurture their bond away from the institutional weight of crowns and constitutional duties. Relocating back to a primary royal residence is, on the surface, a logistical move. But peel back the velvet curtain, and it's also an intimate recommitment to stand together at the heart of Danish national life, hand in hand, ready to embrace both the privileges and the piercing demands that come with wearing Denmark's historic crowns. Indeed, as their household staff discreetly pack away summer linens and prepare formal state apartments, murmurs have begun about what this move might mean for the next phase of their reign. Some seasoned royal watchers predict an even more visible role for Queen Mary on the international stage, particularly in matters of global sustainability and women's empowerment, areas she has championed with passion and unmistakable expertise. Meanwhile, King Frederik, whose deep interest in environmental stewardship and the modernization of Denmark's global alliances continues to shape his young kingship, may use this home base to more robustly position Denmark as a leading voice in Europe's evolving security landscape. There is even talk that the couple might host a series of high-profile diplomatic gatherings in Copenhagen over the next year, transforming their new royal rhythm into a dynamic platform for international dialogue. Amidst these swirling expectations, however, the human side of this story continues to resonate most powerfully. Imagine Queen Mary walking the softly echoing marble halls of their palace with her children, pausing by centuries-old portraits that tell the storied lineage of Denmark's monarchy. Picture King Frederik leaning in to murmur a gentle joke to his wife at a glittering gala, both of them sharing a fleeting, private smile that speaks volumes of trust built over decades. It's in these moments, far from the official press releases and staged photo calls, that the real magic of royalty lives. It's what keeps people around the world watching with rapt fascination, eager to see how this family, so uniquely situated at the crossroads of tradition and tomorrow, will continue to evolve. As their relocation unfolds, the logistical ballet will be carefully choreographed, fleets of palace vehicles discreetly moving personal effects, enhanced security sweeps ensuring absolute safety, stylists and protocol officers preparing wardrobes and formal regalia for upcoming appearances. Yet underneath it all, beats a shared heartbeat of a family simply striving to craft a life filled with genuine love and mutual respect, even within the gilded confines of monarchy. So as Queen Mary and King Frederik step into this new phase, wrapping up their cherished private interlude and embracing the vibrant, sometimes challenging demands of public royal life once more, the world holds its breath in eager anticipation. Will this relocation deepen their influence and broaden Denmark's luminous royal narrative on the world stage? Will it anchor their children even more solidly in the values and traditions that will someday guide a new generation of Danes? Only time will tell, but one thing is undeniable. In watching Queen Mary's graceful composure and King Frederik's earnest devotion, not only to their people but to each other and their children, we glimpse the timeless allure of monarchy at its most deeply human. As they prepare to unveil the next chapter of their reign from their soon-to-be home base, we can't help but wonder together, what profound stories, dazzling triumphs, and tender family milestones await Queen Mary, King Frederik, and the Danish nation just around the corner. Queen Mary and King Frederik may stand today as glittering embodiments of Denmark's proud monarchy, yet beneath their impeccably tailored public images lies a story that continues to evolve with startling tenderness and surprising complexity. As the royal household orchestrates this anticipated relocation, carefully transitioning the family from cherished months of private reprieve back into the golden frame of Copenhagen's bustling royal stage, new subtleties emerge that only enrich the human narrative that pulses beneath the formal grandeur. The Danish people, ever attuned to the smallest cues from their sovereigns, are watching closely, seeking signs of how their beloved queen and king intend to shape the monarchy for years, perhaps decades, to come. Insiders with long-standing ties to the Danish court whisper that this is more than merely a move of household goods or royal wardrobes. They describe a subtle recalibration of the very soul of the monarchy. In recent weeks, select members of the royal staff have been seen consulting with educational advisors, cultural program directors, and even digital communication specialists, all suggesting that Queen Mary and King Frederik are laying groundwork not only for an enhanced domestic presence but for a monarchy that resonates with the shifting heartbeat of a new era. It is widely known that both royals feel a deep responsibility to ensure that their institution does not remain static or appear aloof, but rather stays intricately woven into the fabric of modern Danish life. And so, as moving vans slip through discreet palace gates under the watchful eyes of plainclothes security, a more profound migration is also underway, a deliberate guiding of the Danish royal story from the serene private gardens of family intimacy back into the vibrant public squares where history, hope, and national identity dance together. This is, in many ways, Queen Mary's special domain. For though she was born far from Denmark's shores in Tasmania, she has, through 2 decades of graceful devotion, become not only the luminous heart of the Danish royal family but a living emblem of its openness, adaptability, and quietly modern soul. Those closest to the Queen often recount how she maintains an unwavering emotional radar, ever sensitive to the moods of the Danish people. It is said that during these past months of extended retreat, Queen Mary kept careful note of pressing societal issues, from evolving conversations on climate impact to delicate dialogues surrounding national inclusion and welfare. Now, poised to step back into Copenhagen's regal spotlight, she seems determined to channel these insights into her upcoming patronage work and public speeches. Palace aides have hinted that we may soon witness new royal initiatives spearheaded by Mary herself, programs that delve deeper into mental health advocacy, sustainable community growth, and perhaps even novel partnerships with Scandinavian innovators tackling global humanitarian challenges. Meanwhile, King Frederik's own internal compass appears equally attuned to Denmark's evolving national story. Observers have remarked on the king's intensifying focus on regional security collaborations and environmental diplomacy, particularly against the backdrop of shifting geopolitical sands in Northern Europe. As the family prepares to resume residence at Amalienborg, Frederik's calendar is reportedly brimming with confidential briefings, strategic dinners, and quiet consultations with both Danish and foreign dignitaries. His recent behind-the-scenes dialogues with defense analysts and green technology pioneers suggest a monarch intent on positioning Denmark as not merely a passive observer on the world stage but an agile, moral actor in some of the planet's most pressing conversations. This rich interplay between private family life and majestic duty is perhaps most poignantly felt in the lives of the royal children. Crown Prince Christian, who stands on the very threshold of adult royal life, has grown from a spirited, curious boy into a young man increasingly aware of his destiny. Friends of the family share touching anecdotes of Christian seeking more one-on-one time with his father during these summer months, peppering him with earnest questions about Denmark's constitutional nuances and quietly absorbing the subtle art of statesmanship. With their relocation, there's an unmistakable sense that these father-son dialogues will now deepen under the grand chandeliers of Copenhagen's historic halls, weaving the next threads in a centuries-old lineage of leadership. Princess Isabella, whose recent public appearances have charmed Denmark with her warm confidence and perceptive gaze, also stands to find new dimensions to her role. Sources close to the palace have observed how Mary gently encourages her daughter's growing interest in charitable work, often inviting Isabella into informal meetings with women's organizations or cultural groups. This relocation may bring even more of these formative moments, subtly grooming a princess who could one day serve as one of the monarchy's most compelling ambassadors of compassion and modern female strength. Then there are the twins, Prince Vincent and Princess Josephine, who still embody the carefree mischief of youth. Those who've seen them during these past private months often smile recounting tales of their playful adventures along quiet beach paths or spirited debates over who found the prettiest shell. For them, the move back to Copenhagen's storied corridors will be a return to familiar routines of school friends, favorite local cafes, and royal traditions that, while formal in many eyes, simply feel like comforting family rituals to these youngest heirs. Yet behind all these glittering dynamics, there is also the simple, profoundly human truth of two people, Mary and Frederik, who continue to anchor each other through the immense tides of expectation. Palace insiders often speak of small, private moments that reveal the bedrock of their enduring bond. A tender hand clasp under the table during a tense diplomatic dinner, shared laughter echoing down a palace corridor after a long day of official duties, or even quiet pauses in the gardens where, away from prying eyes, they can breathe together, remind each other of shared dreams, and rediscover why they chose this life of service side by side. So as this relocation progresses, with trucks bearing discreet royal insignias winding through Copenhagen's streets, staff bustling through palace wings with fresh arrangements of flowers and newly pressed tapestries, security teams quietly mapping every detail of renewed public schedules, the air vibrates with a sense of poised transformation. This is more than the Danish monarchy merely returning from holiday. It is a deliberate, almost ceremonial re-entry into the heart of national life, charged with all the hopes, anxieties, and delicate joys that come from being both symbols and living souls. What will this next chapter bring for Denmark's royal family? Will Queen Mary's insightful embrace of modern issues elevate the monarchy into new realms of global relevance? Will King Frederik's thoughtful leadership forge deeper ties with allies and place Denmark firmly at the nexus of environmental and security dialogues? Will Crown Prince Christian, under the gentle tutelage of his parents, step forward into young adulthood carrying not just the weight of his ancestors' crowns but also the quiet strength of his family's authentic love? Time, as always, will reveal its secrets slowly. But for now, the people of Denmark, and indeed royal watchers around the world, are content to watch this unfolding story with rapt attention, drawing inspiration and perhaps a little wistful wonder from a family who, despite the diamonds and regal processions, remind us all of the timeless human quests: to love, to nurture, to serve, and to belong. And so, dear viewers, as Queen Mary and King Frederik complete this graceful pivot from cherished private days into a fresh season of regal visibility, we stand together at the edge of something quietly magnificent. What tender milestones, historic decisions, and sparkling surprises might lie ahead for this luminous family, and how will their evolving story continue to illuminate not just the halls of Amalienborg, but the hearts of millions around the world who dream, love, and hope along with them? Make sure to subscribe to this channel right now, give us a big thumbs up, share this video with every royal enthusiast you know, and drop a comment below. What do you think the future holds for Queen Mary, King Frederik, and the next generation of Denmark's royal family? We can't wait to hear your thoughts and keep this royal journey unfolding together.